Sagittarius, before we begin, I want you to take a slow breath, as if you're opening a soft little space inside your chest. A quiet room where the most honest things can walk in without being blocked by fear or hurry. The moment you close your eyes, I can feel a layer of energy shifting inside you, a gentle tremble, delicate but real, like someone has touched an invisible string deep in your heart. Lately, something about you has been calling my attention. Not sadness, not fear, but an opening, a quiet door, as if your soul is preparing itself for a chapter even you cannot fully name. And this Monday, the 24th, carries a movement that feels different. A shift you cannot explain with logic, only with intuition that grows stronger day by day. When I tune into your energy, something unusual happens. No supernatural signs, no mysterious sounds. Just this feeling that the whole room, the whole world, is pausing for a heartbeat. As if time itself gently steps aside, so something deeper can enter your life without distraction. And in that moment, I understand something. You're standing at an inner threshold, not a doorway of rushed decisions, but a doorway of maturity. You are the sign of journeys, of long roads, of endless horizons. But this time, the message isn't move forward. It's pause and look inward. To acknowledge the transformation that has been growing inside you for months, the one you never quite allowed yourself to see. There is a door inside you, a door you thought was closed long ago. But the truth is, it was never locked. It was simply waiting for your heart to be strong enough to open it without shaking. And this Monday, the first thing rising in your energy is a release you can no longer delay. This isn't a breakup. It isn't a dramatic loss. It's the realization that you've been holding on to something that no longer fits who you are becoming, a role, an expectation, a responsibility, a familiar emotional pattern, or even the way you see yourself in relation to others. This Monday gives you permission to let go, not in pain, not in guilt, but with dignity, maturity, and a quiet peace born from a soul that has endured enough. But that's not all. The moment you release what's heavy, I see a soft light awakening inside you, not a blinding flash, but a slow sunrise, the kind that warms you from the inside out. Your fire hasn't died, Sagittarius. It's been resting, and now it returns. Not loud, but alive. And then something appears, a presence, a message, a sign, not born from longing or nostalgia, but from perfect synchronicity, from a cycle where your soul finally aligns with the right frequency. This presence won't hurt you. It won't stir chaos. It won't reopen old wounds. It returns to give you back a missing piece of your emotional puzzle, a quiet sense of peace, a moment of being heard, without judgment, a connection so gentle you may find yourself asking, why does this arrive right now, of all times? Sagittarius, I also see fatigue in you, not physical tiredness, but the kind that comes from lifting others for too long, while forgetting to lift yourself. This Monday brings you something sacred, the right to stop, the right to rest, the right to breathe without explaining it to anyone. For the first time in a long while, you'll listen to yourself, and that will change everything. At a deeper level, I see an awakening of self-worth. You'll realize you don't need to prove you're worthy. You don't need to cling to connections that drain you. You don't need to carry emotions that don't belong to you. This clarity will reshape the way you treat yourself. You'll stop accepting emotional crumbs. You'll stop letting others define your value. You'll stop treating your kindness like a burden. In the physical world, I see movement in something that has been stuck for far too long. A step forward, an answer, a door opening after a long silence. And when it happens, you'll feel a new kind of breath inside your body, lighter, cleaner, safer. But the moment that stands out the most is a conversation. Not an argument, not a confrontation, but a calm exchange that lets you finally see things clearly. Misunderstandings untangle, empty spaces fill in, and your heart exhales for the first time in a very long time. The things you never said will finally be spoken, and that release frees you from the invisible knots you've been carrying for far too long. And then I see a sacred kind of rebirth. Not a change in who you are, but a change in how you walk into your own life. From now on, you'll move from a safer place, a wiser place, a more grounded place inside yourself. You'll make choices without fearing you'll make the wrong one, because you finally understand that mistakes aren't failures. They're part of your learning, part of your becoming. And Sagittarius, your destiny shifts today. Not because of some miracle outside you, but because the way you step toward your destiny is no longer the same. Sagittarius, this Monday, the 24th, marks a moment your soul has been waiting for, even if you didn't know you were waiting. This isn't just another day, it's a step forward, a new layer of awareness, a truer version of yourself beginning to take form. You don't need permission to grow. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing peace. You don't need to dim your light so people who aren't ready won't feel overwhelmed. This Monday gives you back something you lost a long time ago, the permission to stand tall in your true worth. These past days, you may have felt your purpose shifting in ways you couldn't name. Not goals, not plans, but that deep inner whisper saying, "I'm here for something bigger," something calling me from the inside. It's the voice you hear at night, when you're done pretending you're fine, when you're tired of playing the role of the strong one. And on Monday the 24th, that voice finally becomes clear. I see your inner compass sharpening, nudging you gently, and you'll begin seeing with absolute clarity what truly belongs to your heart, what no longer fits, which path leads you toward freedom, and which path pulls you away from yourself. Have you been feeling like you need to change direction, but didn't know where to start? This Monday, the universe aligns things so naturally, so coherently, that you'll find yourself saying, "Oh, so that's what it was." Not a sudden revelation, but life's puzzle pieces clicking into place. You'll be surprised, because support will come from places you never expected: a stranger helping you, a chance encounter carrying a message, an opportunity landing in your hands. Right when you thought you ran out of options, there is a big shift forming. I don't know if it's emotional, spiritual, or situational, but it's powerful enough to reroute your entire life. Maybe you'll travel. Maybe a new environment opens up. Maybe your perspective changes so deeply that staying the same becomes impossible. Or maybe the transformation happens inside your feelings, your priorities, your boundaries reshaping themselves until you can no longer live the old way. This shift opens doors you couldn't see before, because you were too busy surviving instead of living. Sagittarius, you are the freest soul in the Zodiac. Yet deep inside, you've been carrying invisible expectations, your own, other people's, families, societies weighing you down for too long. This Monday, those pressures begin to crack. And when they fall away, your true, vibrant, liberated nature rises with a force so bright those around you will feel it even if you never say a word. There is a message here about creative living, not artistic creativity, but the creativity in the way you navigate life, seeing solutions where others see dead ends, connecting ideas you once believed had nothing in common, letting yourself experiment, try, fail, and try again. You'll discover skills you didn't even know you had, because you once convinced yourself they weren't for you, but they were always yours, waiting for the right moment to be noticed. And then, something profoundly deep happens. A past relationship, or perhaps a memory, a wound, a regret, begins to heal. It doesn't mean going back. It doesn't mean reconciliation through words. It means quiet forgiveness, understanding, release, an emotional closure you didn't know you needed. You will feel your chest, that place where the heaviness lived, where tightness sat for years, suddenly soften, as if you finally returned the weight to where it belongs. But what amazes me most is the expansion of your spirit, not through mysticism, but through clarity. Your intuition sharpens, not through vague feelings, but through silent certainty. You'll make decisions that surprise others, yet feel undeniably right to you. Your mind and your spirit, which used to move in different rhythms, finally begin to work together, to flow as one, to speak the same quiet truth. I also see new connections entering your life. People who come to build with you, not take from you. People who recognize your worth from the very first moment. People who make you feel respected, valued, and truly seen. One of them may even open a doorway, a turning point in your career or in your emotional world. And there's something else. Your body subtly and quietly becomes a mirror, a reflection of your emotional truth. You'll begin to feel the energy of every situation through your physical reactions, light, heavy, soft, tight, as if your body has developed a new kind of intuition. This becomes your superpower. It will help you avoid mistakes, stay away from toxic spaces, and guide you toward the right people and the right places. But what I sense most strongly is that a new ability within you is awakening. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to understand it. You just have to let it open. It may be the ability to communicate deeply, to read emotions, to create, to intuit, to sense energy, or to express a talent you never believed you had. And then, a final message rises like the last light of sunset. Your inner strength is returning, not the strength to fight, but the strength to choose. Not rebellion, but confidence in your true voice. And that confidence will draw the right people in and push the wrong people out without you needing to lift a finger. And then, a symbol so beautiful appears that I have to pause when I see it. The rebirth of your heart. Not a new love arriving instantly, but the return of your ability to love without shrinking. The ability to connect without losing yourself. The ability to open your heart without trembling at the thought of being hurt. Sagittarius, the journey ahead of you isn't a physical one. It's a journey back to your strongest, freest, truest nature. Sagittarius, this will be an inward journey, but not like the ones you've taken before. This Monday, the 24th, opens a doorway that leads you inward with honesty into the places you once avoided. Maybe because you feared that if you went too deep, you'd uncover truths too vast, too powerful, or too transformative to return from. But this day doesn't ask you to bring a map, because what awakens inside you is your emotional compass, a silent guide that has been asleep for years, now stirring as if your soul is calling itself home. It will show you which path is real and which is only a sugar-coated shortcut. Then another image appears, a door opening upward, not forward. And that carries a very specific meaning. It tells me you're stepping out of a cycle of survival and into a cycle of elevation. A place where you no longer live just to maintain, but to flourish, to expand, to shine as who you truly are. Sagittarius, you were not born to stay small. You were born to rise. Then I see another message, powerful and bright, a hidden gift awakening. Not a hobby, not something superficial, but a talent tied directly to your purpose. The ability to inspire, the ability to teach, the ability to heal, the ability to sense energy, the ability to bring order to chaos, the ability to lead, the ability to transform your environment. Whatever it is, it will come so naturally that you'll ask yourself, how did I never see this before? It wasn't because it wasn't there. It was because you weren't ready then, and now you are. And when you finally recognize this gift, opportunities will blossom like frozen petals melting into full bloom, opening beautifully and effortlessly around you. But then, another message appears, one even deeper about your future relationships. I see you beginning to attract new kinds of people, souls with higher frequencies, greater maturity, wider hearts, people who are not intimidated by your strength, not afraid of your passion, not threatened by your dreams, people who don't try to shrink you so they can feel comfortable. They see you in your fullest form and still choose to stay. These people will open doors for you, new perspectives, new opportunities, new paths you could never walk alone. Sagittarius is always strongest when surrounded by other free spirits. And for the first time in a long time, you're beginning to attract exactly that kind of energy. A new circle begins to form around you, truer, brighter, more aligned, and then a gentle warning appears. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Your life is about to speed up, not into chaos, but into opportunity, movement, and clarity. When this happens, you must avoid two things. Don't scatter your energy. Don't underestimate your worth. This expansion is so strong that if you don't believe you deserve it, you might unintentionally turn away the very gift the universe is placing in your hands. And Sagittarius, you deserve far more than the limits you once placed on yourself. I also see another kind of healing, the healing of your voice, not just your physical voice, but the voice of your soul. The part of you that stayed quiet to keep the peace, to avoid hurting someone, to maintain a false sense of calm. The words you never said still live in your body like invisible knots. This Monday, that release begins. You might speak something aloud, or write it, or finally admit something to yourself, or even allow a thought you were once afraid to think. And when you reclaim that voice, you reclaim the right to define who you are. Then something unexpected flickers like a spark. You are about to discover a brand new reason to live. A new why. Not the old reason, the one you held on to out of comfort or habit, but the true reason. The one that wakes you with brighter eyes, a wider heart, a deeper breath. This reason will shift your habits, your choices, your priorities. And once it reveals itself, you will never return to who you were before. I also see new activity rising in your life, not just improvement, but a necessary turning point. You may change your career direction, or begin a meaningful project, or receive an opportunity that pushes you beyond your comfort zone, or be offered something you once believed you were not enough for. But you are enough. You always were. Another intimate message appears, your relationship with rest, Sagittarius. The truth is, you haven't truly rested in a long time. You stop, but you don't relax. You sleep, but you don't heal. You stay quiet, but you don't release. This Monday marks the beginning of a new cycle, a cycle of deep, soul-level restoration. When you allow yourself to rest without guilt, your life force will return with a strength you haven't felt in years. Then I see a special encounter. Not necessarily a lover, though it could become one. This is someone who reflects back the parts of you you've never fully seen, not to hurt you, but to reveal the potential you forgot you had. This person won't lead you astray. They walk beside you. Their presence will leave a mark on your memory for a very long time. And then, something most unusual happens. Not the cards moving, but their energy speaking something greater. Your legacy. Not the grand legacy of heroes, but the legacy of a soul who lives in truth. Sagittarius, your legacy isn't what you leave behind when you exit this world. Your legacy is what you build while you're still here, while you breathe, walk, love, lose, choose, and rise again. And this Monday, the 24th, marks the beginning of a cycle where you start leaving your imprint in ways you won't even realize. An imprint on people, an imprint on the places you touch, an imprint on the decisions you make, an imprint on the projects you shape, and on your own evolving soul. A time is coming when every action you take, even the small ones, will create more impact than you ever imagined. The quiet observers around you, they'll be inspired. People you've never spoken to, they'll mention your name with gentle respect. Those you once thought indifferent, they'll begin living by the lessons your presence taught them, even without you trying. This isn't arrogance. This is destiny. The destiny that unfolds when you live in your truth. And then, a powerful symbol appears, a bridge. But not a bridge leading you somewhere else. This bridge connects two versions of you, two parts you once believed were opposites. The part that seeks safety, and the part that craves adventure. The part that longs for peace, and the part that wants to fly. The part that desires love, and the part that keeps a distance. The part that wants connection, and the part that protects its freedom. This Monday, that bridge will open, and the journey across it will allow you to harmonize the two strongest forces inside you. No more opposition, no more conflict, just two sides finally merging into one whole, a Sagittarius who cannot be shaken. And right after that, I see something I rarely see in your energy. A silent circle of protection. A symbolic space where no one can touch you. No one can drain you. No one can pull you away from the voice of your true calling. This is the moment for the first time in years when you can clearly tell what you truly want. What you pretend to want, to keep others happy, what you need, and what you've simply been enduring. When this silence settles around you, you will remember the things you buried long ago, that some of your dreams never died, that some decisions were never made because you didn't allow yourself to make them, that there is a path your soul has always wanted to walk, but your mind kept postponing for someday. And someday is today, Monday the 24th. Then I see your emotional future clearer than ever. Not just in love, but in every deep connection that shapes who you are. There are people coming into your life, people who won't complicate things, won't confuse you, won't demand that you carry the weight for both. People who come with calm energy, confidence, sincerity. People who restore your faith in humanity not because they save you, but because they walk beside you. They will teach you how to receive without defending yourself, how to open your heart without losing who you are, how to be loved without feeling like you're being swallowed whole. Then I see something even more specific, a new connection forming from peace, not from the storm of uncontrolled passion, a connection that teaches you love doesn't have to hurt. There is love that lifts you, love that walks with you, love that helps you breathe easier. And in that simplicity, you understand a profound truth. What you once called intense love was really just an emotional reaction to wounds that hadn't healed. Then your intuition reveals itself so strongly that it makes me pause. Sagittarius, your intuition is about to change completely. Where you once had to work hard to interpret signs, now the messages come directly, no translation needed. A part of your soul whispers, "You're ready now. I can speak to you clearly." And this intuition will help you see through situations, read energy, sense intentions. You'll see people as they truly are, not as they want you to believe. Then the cards reveal something we've never touched before: your relationship with time. For years, you've felt the pressure to hurry, to run ahead, to prove you weren't falling behind. The 24th ends that cycle. The new rhythm teaches you to walk at your pace, and when you do, you will experience the greatest transformation of your life. You stop comparing. You stop fearing you're too slow. You stop accepting crumbs. And you begin living fully. Then a red symbol pulls my attention, a red door. A major decision is approaching. Not a small choice, a life-changing one. And when the moment arrives, you won't doubt it. The red door doesn't open because of fear. It opens because of trust. And you will know exactly when to step through. Then I see abundance. Not just money, but opportunity. Opportunities coming so steadily, so naturally, as if the universe is saying, "You've carried the weight long enough. Let me show you what it feels like to live lightly." An invitation. A proposal. An idea that becomes reality. A possibility that opens. And the surprising part is that you won't be surprised. And finally, an image appears. A blank page. No ink. No bindings. No old scripts. No limits. This page invites you to rewrite your own life. The kind of person you want to become, the kind of love you want to receive, the kind of work you want to devote yourself to, the kind of freedom you want to live, and this time, your desire won't be halfway. It will be a deep, clear, conscious decision, one that cannot be reversed. Whether you're working for someone, building something on your own, or standing in the middle of a transition, the energy coming on Monday the 24th shows a fundamental shift in how you create and how you contribute. Until now, you saw yourself as someone who executes well, reliable, responsible, always ready to help. But now, Sagittarius, you're beginning to see yourself differently. You're realizing you're not just someone who gets things done. You're someone who creates value, who leads, who shapes direction, who renews old structures, who ignites the room around you. This inner shift by itself is enough to change the way people treat you. Respect increases, recognition becomes clearer, opportunities find their way to you. Partnerships appear without you chasing them. You no longer need to overwork. You vibrate from a deeper place, and the universe answers that vibration with abundance. Then another message rises, a shift in your emotional destiny. Not just love. Your entire emotional destiny, how you love, how you give, how you receive, how you connect. You're about to let go of a way of loving learned from fear and imitation. Devotion mixed with self-sacrifice, care mixed with anxiety, giving mixed with exhaustion, attachment mixed with losing yourself. That pattern is outdated, and your soul knows it. This Monday, you learn an emotional truth so deep it will redefine the way you love and the way you are loved. You will learn to love without carrying the weight, connect without dissolving, walk beside someone without losing your path, give without abandoning yourself. This transformation will help you attract healthy, mature, clear relationships. And then, a revelation appears. You may not recognize what it is: a book, a memory, a photograph, a sentence, an old message, or even a tiny detail in a random conversation. But it awakens something in you. A talent, a memory, a decision, a belief, a dream. This discovery is a key. It reminds you of who you were before life forced you to be stronger than necessary. Then a rare symbol appears, the double inner flame. Not the twin flame you hear about online. This is you, your fire and your peace, your strength and your softness, your breakthroughs and your patience, your action and your listening. Two sides of you once in conflict, now beginning to merge. And when these two forces align, a new version of Sagittarius is born, one who sees solutions where others see walls, one who turns stagnation into momentum, one who awakens potential where others only see limitation. You become a true creator not because of your ideas, but because of the way you see the world. And then, something softer, but deeply spiritual, an emotional cleansing happening in your sleep. Your dreams will grow vivid, symbolic, illuminating. You don't need to analyze them. Your soul is reorganizing itself. You'll wake up lighter, clearer, more intuitive, as if healing visited you during the night. And finally, the strongest message in this entire reading reveals itself: a life shift, not a phase, not a chapter, not a season, but a complete transformation. A transformation is carrying you from living just to survive to living to create, living to please others to living by your own choosing, living from I have to living from I want to, living a borrowed life to living an authentic one. This transformation isn't rushed, but it cannot be reversed. It isn't loud, but it cannot be denied. It isn't painful, it's regenerative. It doesn't destroy, it upgrades. And when this shift is complete, you will look back at your old life and whisper, "That's no longer me." Then a truth is revealed. You were never meant to live a small, cautious, limited life. You were meant to rise, to open paths, to lead, to illuminate, to leave a mark. From this moment forward, your spirit expands without asking for permission. Your voice echoes without fear. Your intuition guides without needing proof. Your energy no longer fragments. Your decisions align with purpose. Your relationships become bridges. Your fears become teachers. Your heart becomes a sanctuary. Your mind becomes an ally. Your body becomes a compass. Destiny no longer pulls you, it follows you. You are stepping into a phase where your greatness no longer fits inside the old molds. This new version of you does not apologize for shining, does not shrink to stay safe, does not hide to keep others comfortable. This new version is you whole and complete. Sagittarius. Monday the 24th marks the moment the universe opens the path. There is no turning back. There is no old self to return to. There is no person, no circumstance that can stop you now. You were not meant merely to live. You were meant to become extraordinary. And if this reading awakens something deep inside you, if it resonates with the truth of your soul, leave a comment, subscribe, share this message, spread this light to others, because you are not just receiving the light, you are the light, and I will always be here whenever you call.